true electric vehicle enthusiasts have their eyes set on 2028, or the time around when, in all likelihood, we'll see the true advent of super batteries, or the more advanced lithium ion solid state batteries. After years of problems and wait, these batteries are finally going into production. After years of nothing coming out of stated plans and ambitions, Toyota finally seeks to put them into production as early as 2027, and the indicated outcomes are stunning. 700 plus miles of range and charging in around 10 minutes. This can rock the entire existing EV industry and its built assets. But of course, in technology, and particularly with legacy makers, it's always worth getting serious when you see things. Toyota is not alone. BMW, Nissan, and a slate of new battery entrants are all in with similar claims. Volkswagen has reportedly even received a prototype solid state battery from QuantumScape, a Silicon Valley startup. Let us first examine the lithium ion battery space a bit on basics. It took the better of 20 years for lithium ion batteries to assume commercial scale since their invention in the 70s, which was mainly on account of the growth of portable devices, laptops, cell phones, and subsequently the biggest applications in the form of electric vehicles. Electric vehicles themselves trace their history to the dawn of motor cars, but were initially working on lead acid batteries, expensive and limited in range. Lithium ion brought down the cost by enhancing the ability to store a large charge. Batteries have two electrodes, the cathode and the anode. Ions are charged particles and are created at one of the battery's electrodes, the cathode, when the cell is charged, causing electrons to be stripped from lithium atoms. The electrolyte in liquid form provides a medium through which the ions migrate to a second electrode, the anode, passing through a porous separator that keeps the electrodes apart to prevent a short circuit. The electrons created at the cathode meanwhile move in towards the anode along the wires of an external charging circuit. Ions and electrons reunite at the anode where they are stored. When the battery discharges, the process reverses, with electrons in the circuit powering a device. In electric vehicles, that device is the electric motor. Lithium-ion cells, however, hold some notable risks. The liquid electrolyte is made from organic solvents that are flammable. This is why electric vehicles need to put substantial efforts in thermal management. Overheating of cells or with any damage, they can explode into flames. A solid electrolyte that is not flammable prevents that. So the entire focus on solid state batteries initially was on account of safety. Though even with an array of chemicals that can be used to produce solid state batteries, getting the required efficiency has been anything but simple. So as mentioned earlier in this video, it's best assessed when seen. Another point to highlight here is that solid electrolytes don't by themselves improve the lithium ion battery's performance. Is the possible redesign that enables a smaller and lighter structure that enables packing higher energy in lesser space. And that's the modern day promise. Besides, of course, the higher choice in usable chemicals. Battery materials are one of the biggest challenges and a political hot potato currently. Like in everything, there are interesting trade offs. Lithium ion cells carry their own advantages. The electrodes are coated with various materials, layers of minute particles. The ions obtain a large surface area to pass through, and the liquid electrolyte can pass through the layers and immerse the particles, something a solid electrolyte is unable to do, through the nooks and corners, requiring hard compression against the electrodes for good contact. This can actually damage the electrodes when the battery is being constructed. This is the big challenge in manufacturing solid state batteries. What's called the conductivity problem. Scale is another issue. From lab to mass manufacturing, CATL claims its condensed battery can store up to 500 watt hours per kilogram. The highest performing batteries currently max at 300 watt hours per kg. The two most important types of cathodes are NMCs and LFPs. The first of which contains coating of lithium with various ratios of nickel, manganese, and cobalt, and the latter one with a blend of lithium iron phosphate. Even with lesser density, the latter is hugely popular as it avoids the expensive nickel and cobalt. It's the battery in the rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3 here in the US. Numerous labs around the world are constantly in pursuit of other types of cathodes, and we will hopefully see more options. Not only those that pack energy and dispense it well, but those that are easy to construct. The value of lithium is its extremely lightweight, but with the ease of availability, efforts are also on to try sodium instead of lithium for the ions. At the anode too, most of which are made of graphite, efforts are on with other options. Lithium in its metal form or silicon could replace graphite. A solid electrolyte also reduces the risks of adverse reactions. That's also more energy in less space, enabling making batteries smaller and lighter. A solid electrolyte can also act as a separator, doing away with one additional component. QuantumScape, the company mentioned earlier, is trying an anode-free battery with a proprietary ceramic acting as both a separator and an electrolyte. All lithium-ion cells expand and contract, but in a solid-state battery, that could be 3 times that of one with a liquid electrolyte. This movement is accommodated in the packaging of the cells in modules that make a complete EV battery. There are claims that these batteries will have a longer life cycle in addition to longer range and faster charging time. That's more cycles of charging and discharging. I will get into the specifics of those claims in a future video, as it's really no point talking on those at this point in time. These are about longer lifetime miles to drive and then specific risk safeguards. All these claims can be truly tested only when they arrive in cars manufactured and made available to drive. Ultimately, capacity is only one aspect of a battery. It needs to last long and deliver power quickly enough. Increasing storage requires more lithium and hence involves more costs, while fast charging always shortens battery life. Amongst all the claims you will hear over the next years, let it be well understood that it will not be all a joyride. There will be exceptions and conditions upon which work will be required, and as usual, the initial implementations will be in expensive luxury cars. Some solid state batteries are already on the market. For instance, Blue Solutions, a French company that is part of the giant Balor Group, produces one containing a polymer as its electrolyte. As this requires a high operating temperature, the battery is best suited to vehicles that once the battery is warmed up remain in constant use. Hence, it is being used to power electric buses. Others are something of an interim step as they will contain small amounts of a liquid electrolyte to help with conductivity. Many of the Chinese battery makers that dominate the market are working on semi-solid versions. Contemporary Amperex technology, or as it is popularly known, CATL, a Chinese firm that makes more than a third of the world's EV batteries measured by their total capacity, says it could begin production later this year of a semi-solid version it calls a condensed battery. The company claims this will have both a high level of safety and a big storage capacity. Ultimately, the range anxiety, performance, and other issues around EVs have to be conquered. The cost of a battery has to fall to drive the industry forward. And it's super batteries that hold the promise of enabling EVs to overcome the final frontier, the price difference with the internal combustion vehicles.